Hello, my friends, and it's another day and more news. We have a little bit of a development regarding Helldivers and their community manager. This afternoon, Grummz was sent a tweet by Jack Spade with a picture of the community manager for the Helldivers Discord server. And so here we see her picture. About me, Arrowhead Game Studios community lead support tickets, and then flags in the bio. We all know what they mean. In response to this, Grummz tweeted, "Not Helldivers, no." My take, she's been banning the right people in their Discord. Helldivers bans out of game political issues. If that policy is being applied fairly and the CM is doing her job, I'm fine with flags and bio. Diversity is fine. Anti-male, anti-white racism and sexism is not. Nothing woke detected in Helldivers proper. Now, in response to this, Heels versus Babyface does say, when you are representing a company, all that shit should be off your profile. And Grummz said, we didn't make everything political. They insisted, so I agree with you. I have a tendency to agree with both of them. Realistically, when you are representing a company, your politics should not be in people's faces. And when you are talking to a company, your politics shouldn't be in their faces. However, a lot of things transpired past this. I didn't want to do a complete timeline of events, but I do want to kind of hit on the higher points so that there may be things some people don't see, some people don't hear, and I do think it's important to try to keep in mind all the facts that we can gather. Now, as I said, I am not having everything in this. I will do my best to remember to put this first tweet in the description so that you can go and visit and look it over yourself, so that if I missed anything, you can catch it for yourself, because God knows I ain't perfect, guys. I will mess up things. I am going to tell you that right now, but I will always do my best to present as fair a picture as I possibly can. I'm not here to be on any particular side. I am using what little voice I have in an attempt to help push gaming forward into a better place for everybody. This occurred at 2:34 p.m. The next tweet we're going to talk about occurred at 2:56 p.m. This is Grummz, where he says, I have to revise my opinion. Helldivers CM blocked me. Edited statement below. As I've reported, community managers have to toe the line or be ostracized by other CMs. The fear is real. Silence is seen as complicity. I have no idea what is going on here, but until we know more, I take this as a bad sign and nothing more. But everyone will be watching Helldivers very carefully from now on. Now, of course, there are people taking that as some kind of threat. The fact is you can watch something without actually looking to actively hurt it. It just means you're watching. If someone takes the fact that you are paying attention as a threat, that's usually a bad sign. So for those who believe that watching closely, trying to pay attention to their behavior is a threat, then maybe you should think about what you're doing. If you're genuinely not, I hate saying that because it sounds so Big Brother, but if you're not doing anything wrong, people watching you shouldn't be that big a deal. Now, there is a lot of things to caveat off of that, but that's a different discussion for a different day and probably on the live streams, because God knows I can get into the little nooks and crannies on that. The tweet after that is a single word at 3 p.m. Damn it. So apparently someone has gone, it's also tiresome, Quo999, went into her tweets, and let's see what they found. So this first image says, plus Helldivers is pretty woke, dog. Game was made by a lot of LGBTQ and brown people and black people and women, and it's a big satire of jingoism. It amuses me they don't know that Super Earth is bad. It also explains a lot about the world at present. There's a lot to be said about her statement here. First, most people realize that Super Earth is a joke and they laugh at it. The fact that they play into the joke really confuses certain people. They don't understand that you can make fun of something and play into the joke. That a joke doesn't mean that you agree, disagree, or want to hurt anything. It's kind of silly. I would be curious what the post previous to this is. Joe says, didn't they ban people from their Discord for suggesting they add LGBT colored capes? Her response is no, we only ban the bigots. Transphobes, homophobes, racists, etc. are not welcome in our community. We had to restrict the topic in the HD2 general chats for a while because it was triggering massive waves of hate speech, which our staff was struggling with emotionally. I will never understand that, but I am not exactly the most emotional person in the world, so I have a tendency to not speak on this. Following this up, Grummz tweets at 3:19 p.m. If I don't report fairly or admit facts, I would just be Kotaku. This really sucks. So we, everyone on my feed, are now looking into Helldivers community manager, and I'm getting sent stuff. I will present without comment. I will try to do the same. You probably can't read most of this, so I will read it for you. You can, again, go see Grummz tweets where you can read it yourself. This first tweet was made March 31st, 2023. I don't also like the term casual and hardcore, because they come with the implication that skill equals passion. These words are something gamers cling to, but they are being rendered meaningless as games become more accessible, inclusive, and experimental. June 4th, 2020. I'm not talking much because it's not my turn to talk. It's time for Black people to be heard and for white people to listen. I want to continue to do everything I can to help, including passing the mic. July 14th, 2020. I'm so tired of games focusing on parent-child narratives, period, let alone male-centric ones. There are other relationships worth exploring in games. July 14th, 2020. You know what? I like games with female stories. I like women. I'd like to see more women doing things in games that aren't motivated entirely by men. It's why Jessie's from At Control Remedy is great and has a sibling story. I love game siblings. March 11th, 2024. That's the one we read previously. The Helldivers is pretty woke. January 17th, I'm going to guess 2024. And you can see the quote tweet. I think it's true that bridging the gap will have to come more from men than women, but I think diagnosis of toxic masculinity only exacerbate the problem, causing further negative polarization. And then you can't read the rest. And she says this part is wild, just unchecking the accountability box for men completely. Some real big stinky opinions here. So without comment, we're moving on. Going into the comments, Basaro here has a point. I don't see the point of going through this girl's timelines to expose her opinions. I'm yet to hear about anyone being treated unfairly in the Helldivers community, so maybe she's just sticking to the community guidelines and not letting her own beliefs interfere with her work. I will say that while it is very tempting to go into the whole, well, they did it to us, so it's okay if we do it to them mindset, where they have gone through and had people fired for their past affiliations, their past wordings, and some of these are even quite recent. If we don't make the room now for people to have their own opinions, then when we, quote, win, unquote, there will be no room for people to have their own opinions. You have to build the space that you want to see, and you can't push it off until after you've had your revenge. There's many different types of vengeance in this world, and the most initially satisfying ones typically lead to the worst ends, especially if you know much about, they teach these things in fairy tales and stuff, but since people don't really read real fairy tales anymore, I feel like the world is missing out on those lessons. However, moving on, April 5th, 3:49 p.m., Grummz says, I'll play Helldivers. Great and free of woke pandering. People on teams can have different opinions so long as everyone is free to speak and not being activists. Game comes first. I would still make it a requirement that customer-facing community policing positions be politics-free. I would say that they have to be that way on company accounts, especially if they are, say, the head of a community within Discord, but there has to be a space for people to be able to speak their own opinion outside of their jobs. That's one thing at a time. Were we misled? Helldivers 2 was lauded for their anti-politics stance by all of us. Now, Helldivers community manager clarified why they banned people asking for LGBT capes. It wasn't for politics. It was to protect the vet devs and from waves of hate speech, which our staff was struggling with emotionally, and that they only banned the bigots. Honestly, I don't know what to think. What exactly is the Helldivers community policy? Someone did comment earlier that they hadn't seen anyone unfairly treated yet. I would be curious. Do you know someone who feels they were unfairly banned or treated by the Helldivers mods? That would be an important thing to hear about. But to this point, I can't say I've heard anybody say that they were. I don't know that I've even heard anybody try to lie about it yet. And that's curious, because we all know how people have a tendency to lie for clout. At 6:33 p.m., Grummz sent this tweet about the Discord community leader, where he says, the CM changed her profile to erase politics. Should have started this way. Keep politics out of gaming. So something has changed. I don't know if the company told them to change. It's an interesting thing. It's all I have to say. At 6:47 p.m., TechOps tweeted to Grummz, seeing as how they're now purging discussions of this topic from their Steam community forum, I'm glad I didn't buy this game. And Grummz responds, I think it's fair for an anti-politics game forum to keep this discussion out of it. It's not part of the game. And he's not wrong. This is not part of the game. There are many places to discuss and address this. Do I think they should be able to talk about it in the forums? I don't know. I do think in many ways the forums should maybe be kept to game-specific issues and not game community issues. And at the same time, it is a game issue, whether people want to hear more about what's going on in regards to the community itself, especially with the number of times we've been burned regarding community management and people pushing us out without any real good reason. And finally, at 7:03 p.m., Grummz posted this as his position. Here is my position. Helldivers is a great game with no real-life politics. You should keep playing it. You can see the devs are doing it right. Community managers running a non-political Discord should refrain from being political and be as neutral as the game they represent. I do think that's fair. I think that's totally fair. I understand why people are upset, concerned, have reservations. I understand people who would want to stop playing the game, people who won't buy the game. But I do think that until we see actual action that is without a doubt hurting us, that it's a little late to just totally shut down and walk away. You have to provide positive feedback as well as negative feedback for people to truly learn something. Right now, Helldivers is still, from everything I've observed, a positive community where people of all shapes, sizes, colors, creeds, and all the other fun stuff can get together and shoot each other in the head. God, is YouTube gonna get mad that I said that? It's in the game, YouTube. In the game. Not really. Nah, I'm not monetized, so it doesn't matter. Or shoot the bugs. Whatever. They can get together and do these things and have fun. It does not yet appear to be a problem. If you are hesitant about buying Helldivers because of this, don't buy the game. Don't. If you are enjoying the game and have not yet encountered a negative effect, continue playing. Do what you think is best for you, but do it thoughtfully. Do it with the information at hand and without the knee-jerk reaction that we've all been trained into over the years. Because it's that knee-jerk reaction that realistically hurts us. It's the knee-jerk reaction that those on the left actually want from us. If you act with thoughtfulness and deliberateness, you can do a whole lot more than if you just hit the wall every time something scary or bad or a little questionable happens. I have only played 2 rounds of Helldivers. I am looking forward to playing more in the near future when I get back from Vegas. And I do hope that some of you will play with me. I think it'll be fun. All that said, I hope you are having a wonderful day, and I'll catch you later.